Vitality, they're going to need every individual showing up. They're going to have to put their best face into the server. Oh, Rez holding on. A second kill for him, a third as well. Rez just getting this round over and done with. And there it is. 5 kills, the ace to start things off in round number 3. NIP pick it up. And we go into the next one with Team Vitality pulling out the weapons. Finally, they've got the M4s in place. ZywOo can afford the AWP. This is where things get a little bit messy for NIP. This is their first real test on the server so far.
And Nork's going to get one on the NIP side as well. So 2 AWPs in play, and ZywOo likes to be very active, very dynamic with this CT AWP on Mirage. He likes to switch up his position constantly, try to make himself hard to avoid. Right now he's going to be focusing on mid at the start of the round, but he's already moving back towards jungle. And NIP using some early nades. Good to get that mid control. Just a couple of smokes needed, a couple of flashes to pop them into this position, and Vitality are happy to play it safe.
Vitality very safe right now. 3 players starting on the B-bomb side. Find a little bit of presence being shown from Shox towards short. He'll throw the Molotov. That will force Hampus a little closer to connector. But right now, NIP taking their time. Plopsky with a MAC-10. Deploy towards underpass. Smoke up to the window. Mid control established for NIP. And top con smoke coming through as well. Team Vitality definitely playing this one with a passive approach. They've got Apex playing towards jungle. On the side itself, it's RPK. And now NIP sending 3 players through connector. 2 gathering outside of the ramp. It's going to be an A split with 40 seconds left in this clock. Look at the defense. It's only RPK inside of the site right now. They're pulling 1 extra player over through spawn, and that's going to be Shox now, arriving to the site just in the nick of time. RPK trying to hold on. He'll look towards the top of the stairs, but the flank from Apex. Oh, it's huge. 2 kills collected, and he's pulled this round right back. All of Rez's hard work is completely undone, and ZywOo securing it as well. What a round from Apex.
Wow, Apex arriving to the site and making all the difference in that one. And that's partly because of the push that Vitality had through B. That's what gets Apex here so quickly, and Nip clearly weren't prepared for that. First 2 kills on players that weren't even looking at him, and then he cleans up the final 2 as well. Closes out the round. Vitality get their first round on the board early, and it's off the back of Apex.
Yeah, Apex really intelligent plays, gets the timing right of when NIP are sending those plays through connector. Gets the flank on just at the right time. And Rez, I have to say, does a really good job of taking those 2 opening kills. Eliminates Vitality on the defense, but it's not really accounting for the flank of Apex, who comes in and sweeps them up. And he's involved in an early duel in this round. No one coming out dead, but Nok has been dropped down to 33. And Shox needs to be careful up in the ladder room. And ZywOo that opens up the round. Shox swinging, gets the timing right. And Nok was looking away. That's a huge start for Vitality. And around the NIP, we'll have to do a lot of work in just to come back and look competitive. And Plopsky, that's the first step in the right direction.
And Shooter caught out on the B side, as is Shox. Plopsky with 2 entries onto B, but Apex closing the distance. Denies the bomb plant, makes it a second kill. Good start to the game for Apex. Good impact in both of these early gun rounds. I've got to say, though, in that last Mirage game that Vitality played, there were a few rounds where Masuta was getting caught out as that B-site anchor, and that was another one that came close because he went down so early. They got onto the site, but thankfully Apex again arrives at the right place at the right time.
Team Vitality, I mean, that round was looking like it should have been cleaner. It was going to be a good round for them, just cleaning it up, limiting the casualties, securing the round very cleanly, but they'll not be worried about that at all. NIP are down to a full eco. It is just going to be Glocks across the board for the team. 1 P250 actually pulled out for Twist. But other than that, absolutely nothing to talk about right now for NIP. This should be around for Vitality. You're once again playing a very passive setup. You've got Apex just on the A site this time, looking down connector. They've given mid control again to NIP to play with. These pistols will just take what they can, getting the boost.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see more of that as the rounds go on. So I was definitely a capable warper over on that B side. He's a capable warper anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like even in those pistol rounds where it's just a P250 and nothing else for NIP, we still seen Masuda go down on that B bomb side, potentially a little bit of an early sign of her weakness for Vitality, and so as that B defense the NIP might be able to exploit over and over again on this T side. We'll see if they can patch it up though, Vitality.
Just touching on ZywOo quickly as well. The thing that was weirdest to me about actually seeing him at LAN is just how nonchalant this guy is in general. It genuinely feels like he's just like happy to be there playing Counter-Strike, and everything just seems so breezy to him. I don't know why, but he just walks around with this air of like, oh yeah, I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to play Counter-Strike and just be one of the best in the world. You know, It's not like, it doesn't feel like he has to try, which is the weird thing. And don't get me wrong, he obviously tries very hard. He practices very hard. But the natural talent is incredible.
Yeah, the best thing about him is when you look at him, he's just popping off. He just destroys 5 players, completely embarrasses them. He just sits there and smiles. It's just like, you can't hit ZywOo. There's no player in the world or no fan in the world that can sit there and just dislike this guy. He's just such a good player and such a good guy as well. It's really incredible just to watch him as a player, and he's very unique in that respect. And moving forward here with this on the server, we obviously know that we've had a little bit of a tech pause here. We're trying to get some internet problems sorted out and get back onto the server. This does slow things down a little bit, and I feel like NIP we're actually gaining quite a bit of momentum there. Like, they had a good start. They wanted to try and keep that up. Coming in after this break, it's going to be very important that NIP just refocus straight away. They seem to be sitting there all chilled out right now as well. They're all playing together in the facility right now. NIP have definitely started getting better. We've painted a really bad picture for NIP, I think, in their overall chances of this. I think that's the most realistic outlook on the whole situation right now, though, unfortunately. But NIP, we have talked about the win conditions for them. We do know they have some really solid individual players that can show up. And over on NIP, I think obviously the standout player that needs to show up today is Nok alongside Rez. I feel like Rez is going to have to be the playmaker. We've seen signs that early on in Mirage. We've seen those double kills opening up the rounds. Unfortunately, the round was still won by Vitality with that flank from Apex. But if it's going to be that Rez showing up where he can go in and take 2 entry kills or get you 2 of those very important, crucial kills to get you in the round, that's exciting for NIP. That shows that they've got an extra addition to the roster that they haven't really had throughout DreamHack Fall just yet.
We just see a Nork on the player cam, Stinko. He's glowing right now. He's glowing. He's so white. He's carrying the permanently flash strategy. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, I agree with you.
Monitors on 150% brightness.
I know, right? Like, look at this. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I agree with you that I think Nork is the one I think who is probably the one we can rely on more, just because the way he plays, I think, is more of a style where he doesn't necessarily need to be really on point individually. I think a lot of the times he kind of hangs back and uses his positioning more as his strength than anything else. And he gives himself easier fights. With Rez, it is more of those, playmaking plays. He's got to be landing his shots. He's got to be having that snappy aim. And I definitely think he showed signs of that, just not as consistently as we would have liked. So there's definitely things to watch on the Nip side. You said earlier as well, Plopsky has been so quiet in this tournament for this team. He's been their lowest rated player, which is not what I normally expect from him.
Yeah, and it just can't happen against a team like Vitality today. Currently, we're just trying to get some technical problems sorted out. I hear that we are getting them sorted out very quickly. We're just waiting on the players to join up now, so we should be getting back into the action very shortly. So Twitch chat, don't you worry, casters, we will start the game. We have that power, Alex, of course. So we will be starting the game very shortly. We've decided we just want to sit here for a little bit and talk. But when you take a look at IP, definitely, Alex, Nork is the player we've talked about already, has to show up. Plopsky, unfortunately, has been such a quiet performer. That can't happen against Vitality. Every single player from NIP that we talk about having the ability to show up on an individual level needs to do it today. And Plopsky is certainly one of the players that we expect a lot of, and unfortunately hasn't really done anything, even in the most weak group, right? There was Group D. This is where you expect Plopsky to have a little bit more space to work with and a bit more time to shine. And unfortunately, haven't really seen that just yet.
Well, it looks like the issues are going to take a little bit longer than we expected, Dinko. We've got to make sure all the players are all good. So we are going to go to a quick break and we'll get this resolved as soon as possible.
Watching the ocean with you, baby, up with a slow motion crew, and we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us, and we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun, could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey, and I don't need to speak a single word. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it, and I don't need to speak a single word. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a long, low voodoo, fired up like a wolf on a full moon, and we're stuck in a la-la land. The tides will turn without us, and I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey, and I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even
Nork's going to get one on the NIP side as well. So 2 AWPs in play, and ZywOo likes to be very active, very dynamic with this CT AWP on Mirage. He likes to switch up his position constantly, try to make himself hard to avoid. Right now he's going to be focusing on mid at the start of the round, but he's already moving back towards jungle. And NIP using some early nades. Good to get that mid control. Just a couple of smokes needed, a couple of flashes to pop them into this position, and Vitality are happy to play it safe.
Vitality very safe right now. 3 players starting on the B bomb side. Find a little bit of presence being shown from shots towards short. He'll throw the Molotov. That will force Hampus a little closer to connector. But right now, NIP taking their time. Plopsky with a MAC-10. Deploy towards underpass. Smoke up to the window. Mid control established for NIP. Top consort coming through as well. Team Vitality definitely playing this one with a passive approach. They've got Apex playing towards jungle. On the side itself, it's RPK. And now NIP sending 3 players through connector. 2 gathering outside of the ramp. It's going to be an A split with 40 seconds left in this clock. Look at the defense. It's only RPK inside of the site right now. They're pulling 1 extra player over through spawn, and that's going to be shot now right into the site just in the nick of time. RPK trying to hold on. He'll look towards the top of the stairs, but the flank from Apex. Oh, it's huge. 2 kills collected, and he's pulled this round right back. All of Rez's hard work is completely undone, and ZywOo securing it as well. What a round from Apex.
Wow, Apex arriving to the site and making all the difference in that one. And that's partly because of the push that Vitality had through B. That's what gets Apex here so quickly, and Nip clearly weren't prepared for that. First 2 kills on players that weren't even looking at him, and then he cleans up the final 2 as well. Closes out the round. Vitality get their first round on the board early, and it's off the back of Apex.
Yeah, Apex really intelligent players, gets the timing right of when NIP are sending those players through connector. Gets the flank on just at the right time. And Rez, I have to say, does a really good job of taking those 2 opening kills. Eliminates Vitality on the defense, but it's not really accounting for the flank of Apex, who comes in and sweeps them up. And he's involved in an early duel in this round. No one coming out dead, but Nok has been dropped down to 33. And Shox needs to be careful up in the ladder room. It's ZywOo that opens up the round. Shox swinging, gets the timing right. And Nok was looking away. That's a huge start for Vitality. And around the NIP, we'll have to do a lot of work in just to come back and look competitive. And Plopsky, that's the first step in the right direction.
And Shooter caught out on the B site, as is Shox. Plopsky with 2 entries onto B, but Apex closing the distance. Denies the bomb plant, makes it a second kill. Good start to the game for Apex. Good impact in both of these early gun rounds. I've got to say, though, in that last Mirage game that Vitality played, there were a few rounds where Masuta was getting caught out as that B-site anchor, and that was another one that came close because he went down so early. They got onto the site, but thankfully Apex again arrives at the right place at the right time.
Team Vitality, I mean, that round was looking like it should have been cleaner. It was going to be a good round for them, just cleaning it up, limiting the casualties, securing the round very cleanly, but they'll not be worried about that at all. NIP are down to a full eco. It is just going to be Glocks across the board for the team. 1 P250 actually pulled out for Twist. But other than that, absolutely nothing to talk about right now for NIP. This should be around for Vitality, who once again playing a very passive setup. You've got Apex just on the A site this time, looking down connector. They've given mid control again to NIP to play with. These pistols will just take what they can, getting the boost. Yeah, I feel like even in those pistol rounds where it's just a P250 and nothing else for NIP, we still seen Masuda go down on that B bomb side, potentially a little bit of an early sign of her weakness for Vitality, and so as that B defense, the NIP might be able to exploit over and over again on this T side. We'll see if they can patch it up though, Vitality. I have to say, finally getting to see the AWP out for Nok. I'm looking forward to seeing what he could do with this, especially going up against this kind of buy for Vitality. They don't have a lot to play with, and they're on for mass right now. This is a time to shine for the AWP of Nok, right? A weaker buy coming up for Vitality who could break them. On Team Vitality, back into the server, the energy is high, and NIP look to try and pick up where they left off.
That they will. Apex playing in Windows, forced away. Again, Nip getting this mid control. Before that technical pause, they were getting this mid control pretty often in these gun rounds. They've got it again in this one. We're back into a buy round for both teams as well, but Vitality have a couple of weaknesses in there, a couple of weaker guns in the mix. And Nip, after that long pause, are just going to sit back, keep it calm, and just ease us back into things.
Yeah, NIP is very important that they sit here on the server right now and they get right back into the correct frame of mind. They were in a good spot at the start of Mirage here. I feel like they were doing a lot of good work. And now Hampus has got himself up into Connector. That top smoke is going to allow him to walk through if he decides to do so. Rez has also just walked up short and will be approaching to the ladder room. Hampus is on stairs right now, like so much control. And look at this ramp push from Vitality. It's been spotted. Shox wins the duel. And I feel like that push to the ramp is the counter map control they needed. Now it's Rez's turn to turn this round in favor of NIP. He's going to get 2 kills. Yet again, the B bomb site falls for Team Vitality. And Zaiwu looking for some impactful kills. But it looks like Vitality have realized there's no other option but to save this AWP and the AK into the next round. NIP with the difference maker in towards short.
And NIP are really trying to make the most of this B site right now. In these gun rounds, they have consistently been going towards B. 1 or 2 rounds they've ended on A, but it's definitely been the more frequent site for them. And so far, it's going really well. It's another round where Masuda can't do much on the hold. He doesn't get a single kill. Vitality having to save. NIP clearly having some good prep, some good plans coming into this game. That puts them up to a 5-3 lead. And even with those 3 guns being saved, Vitality don't have great cash in the bank. If anything, this may just be a save for the rest of the players. But here's that first fight from Rez, just spraying down Masuda, who got mollied out of position. Clears the close corner as well. Makes sure to check his corners. And those 2 kills are all that's needed to win the round.
Rez up on 10 kills right now. This is a really good start for Rez and a very good sign for NIP at the start of things. And like you said, that mid control and also the B bomb side have been a bit of a weakness for the Vitality side. They send Zaiwu this time to try and fight middle. He doesn't want to go around the corner too high because Nok could have had a better angle. So Zaiwu peeks out, takes down Rez, and walks away with the man advantage for Team Vitality. They're going to need more of that. It's just USPs here on this B bomb site. Masuda, he's got Apex over here as well, but this site yet again, a prime weakness. But look at Plopsky's position. He's pushed all the way up into jungle. He's got a good spot right now, and Shox in behind the smoke at window.
RPK, yeah, the only man on the A site, and Shox with the AK at mid might be caught. Oh, no, he's won the fight. Okay, Shox winning the fight against Plopsky. Another man advantage gained by Vitality, up to a 5v3. Hampus looking for the trade, looking for this angle, but Shox eventually goes for the fight. Thinks Hampus down. 42 seconds left for Nip, but they've got to pick onto the A bomb site.
Twist finally getting something for NIP. Just a reminder, Team Vitality came into this one with only the 3 save weapons. They're now in a position where they could win the round. They've still got that kit on the back of Shox. Apex still with the USP. Masuda still with a default pistol as well right now. And Team Vitality trying to come over towards this side. They know they have a decent chance of winning this. They're just going to need a kill from Zaiwu, and Nok is going to win the fight. That's a kill going in favor of NIP, and Knock finally will fall. The picked up AWP in the hands of Masuda. Shots for the kill as well. And it's just Hampers. 3 HP. Bomb going to be starting to defuse here. Vitality haven't quite tapped it. Finally, Shox gets on the defuse. He's the player with the kit. The Molotov seals in, but already it will be done. The defuse comes through, and if that Molotov came out a little bit earlier, a chance perhaps for NIP, but Vitality, they'll get the defuse through, and NIP lose to the 3 saved weapons.
Oh, that molly just needed to be a split second sooner. Like you said, I didn't realize how low the man on the defuse was. But unfortunately for Hampus, just too many players against him. He wasn't comfortable being able to throw that one quickly. Vitality now, 3 stacking mid. They are going to see if they can take this away from Nip. They've had enough of the mid control. They're going to fight this one. Masuda gets the first kill, but he's traded. Rez with 2 great shots on the Galil, and Rez continues his fine form at the start of this game.
ZywOo. Player pushing up underneath him. Hampus right underneath the scope. ZywOo picked off. And this is NIP with a swift answer. Rez again being the difference maker, the heavy lifter for NIP, and Hampus is all over the map. This is something he couldn't do earlier in the tournament, but now against Vitality, he is finding so much space to work with, and Shox is being cut out of the round. It's just RPK left alone, and he might just fall here as well. Finally getting a headshot. Hampus, though, was quick to reply, and it's NIP with a swift answer after losing 1 round.
Quick reply, quick kills on mid. Take a look at the replay from Rez's perspective. Vitality trying to push with those 2 players, but they end up just kind of lining up one by one. I thought we'd see the 3rd player push as well, but ZywOo was kind of just trying to hold back, right? Kind of trying to cover some of the other angles, hoping that Vitality would win those fights. But they commit so heavily to the top mid fight. And Nip have generally been putting plenty of players at mid in these rounds. So that's what kind of catches them out in this one. This time around, though, Nip not focusing on the mid control, not focusing on the B site. They're going to test their luck on the A side, I think.
Yeah, currently RPK here with a P250 on default. He's got to be the player that shows up. He will be the first pillar of support for the defensive Vitality. Can he get anything done? It's ZywOo with the AWP. The first kill goes in favor of Vitality. Plopsky is the victim. And now RPK has an AK to work with. This is looking a little scary for NIP. And I think a little more than scary now, for ZywOo has taken down Rez. Apex falls victim. It's still Vitality in the lead by 1 player, and ZywOo's not done. He wants to reap more success, and he could deny the bomb plant. The leg shot, though. Hampus gets away, and now Masuda with the follow-up kill. It's just Hampus caught in the smoke, and Masuda will take him down. What a back and forth we have on the server right now. ZywOo delivering 2 very important kills, and even nearly a 3rd there, but it's Masuda stepping up when he is required.
And Nork was starting to get involved on the Nip side as well, so good that Masuda comes in, cleans up these 2 kills at the end on the edge of the smoke. As you said, though, ZywOo definitely making a big difference to begin with, and that was a round where Vitality didn't have that much to work with, but it turns the tides of the economy entirely. Nip are now the ones who only have 1 AK into this round. Again, they're focusing that AK into the hands of Nork. He's someone that they're putting a lot of emphasis into on this Nip side. They clearly want him to be one of the stars of the squad, and Hampus is just going to try and see if he can sell this fake on B. Problem being, ZywOo is ready for this angle when the shot connects, not for the kill. RPK blinded by his teammate, and now he's dead. Oh, that's not the start they needed. Shock still sitting at CT, but Apex comes in. He's going to get some great kills. Apex locking it down, and that was really important that he stepped up there.
Yeah, Apex just cleaning it up. Danger averted. And while I have to say, NIP... we should be a little bit scared right now. Vitality has started to rack these up. We're starting to see moments across the board. Currently 3 players breaking double figures. Only 2 over here for NIP. It's Rez who's had a lot of impact. Hampus, who's been finding himself behind enemy lines a lot. But the problem is, for NIP, they've got to deal with ZywOo, who's going to be all across the map. Having this double op setup allows ZywOo to actually be freed up a little bit more as well, because Shox can sit back as that turret-style opera and lock down some angles, whereas ZywOo, we've seen him over to the B-bomb site the last time. In this round, he's back to a connector. He's going to be all over the map, and NIP have got to figure out how they're going to deal with that.
even when you're playing in mid, you can get those quick rotations to begin with. And that's where he's been pretty often. And ZywOo's already got the first fight to go his way. Plopsky trades out Apex, but ZywOo's still close by. And Nip have to be ready for this angle. They have to be prepared for him. ZywOo is alone at mid right now, and he's still sticking around, but the flashbang is so good from Nip. They're prepared for it. Great awareness to get that kill, and Twist makes it another one. The A site open for business.
Yeah, it's a fantastic round from NIP, a fantastic recovery, really neutralizing ZywOo, who sticks around in connector. He was looking for that second kill on underpass, but they completely counter him. That flashbang was perfect. There was no time between the flash popping off and the peak from NIP. It was all aligned perfectly. A fantastic round from NIP, and one that they desperately needed to win. Now Vitality having to save 2 weapons. The money is okay right now. ZywOo can still get the AWP if Shox throws that on over to him. I definitely feel like that's the best decision you can make right now. And then Apex has 5k in the bank right now before he goes into the next round. So we should be seeing a buy come in from Vitality into this next round. NIP, they're doing a good job right now, Alex. They are doing a fantastic job at taking the fight to Vitality, not letting them run away with it, and actually neutralizing ZywOo and not allowing him to just go and get multi-frags. That's really good stuff from NIP in this round. And then we go into the next. They've got that AWP back in the hands of Nok.
Yeah, it's funny that you're right in that they are definitely neutralizing ZywOo and his impact. It's just funny that ZywOo's so good that even when you kind of do that to an extent, he's still going to be positive, right? Exactly. He's still going to have a good game. It's just the best you can do. Shock's taking the AWP ahead of ZywOo in this round. He's going to take that over to the A site. ZywOo's happy to go with the rifle in this one. I think the main thing that Nip has been doing really successfully in this game, though, Dinko, as we see ZywOo, why he's got that rifle, he's going to go aggressive, and Plopsky needs to be ready. He is prepared. Plopsky makes it a second, spotting out that early aggression, and that should put Nip firm favorites in this round.
Yeah, again. Good start to the round. Plopsky's actually looked better in this match so far. Hasn't exactly been fantastic, but that is a specific round where he is definitely having an elevation in his performance. But Masuda this time, I was a little worried there, Alex, and towards that B bomb site. I thought he was about to go down without a fight, and they would have locked the round in for NIP, but Masuda gets a kill, and now they're going to boost them up on short. He could find Nok here as well. Are they expecting this reposition? Nok's barrel comes around the corner. Masuda with the first. He'll drop off into the left corner. Now Rez swings around. Masuda, what a round from him so far. He's flipped this on its head, and Vitality stand in a 3 versus 1, and Masuda secures himself a 4k, and it's tied up on the server. What a round from Masuda. What a god on that B-bomb site, finally showing up.
Yeah, that's more like it. And he definitely could have gone down on that first fight. You're right, Dinko. It looked like Hampus was going to catch him out, but I think Hampus fluffed a couple of shots, and that gave Masuda the opportunity to showcase that aim that these Vitality players know he has. They've talked about the snappy aim that Masuda displays at times. He can have some real highlight plays, but Hampus upping the pace, and ZywOo's a dead man.
Yeah, ZywOo goes down yet again. Now it's the rest of Vitality that need to show up, and the attack comes in through the A ramp. NIP look to try and end this half ahead, at least by a minimum of 1 round, but they haven't checked RPK, and the tank is shutting them down. 2 kills, Shox with 1. Apex secures victory. Vitality will lead at the half. It's time for a short break. We'll see if the Ninjas can bounce back and get their map win.
chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the monsoon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a long, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on the full
Vitality lead by 1 round at the half. It was a brawl. It was scrappy, but Vitality will get 1 more under their belt. They'll be on the T side this time, the attacking side into the second half. NIP will look to pick up their map pick, and they'll have to do it here in the second half.
And in the previous pistol, Dinko, Zywoo bought the kit and the nades. He bought the utility. This time, he's been dropped to P250. He is going to get set up for success in this one.
Hampus playing in the smoke. A couple of players in Vitality now crossing in front of his cross area. Hear those footsteps. No damage done yet on the server. Bomb plant comes in for Team Vitality. It's going to be a 5v5 retake. The players across the server, this is going to be a messy one. As there's still Rez in the window, and Masuda's pushed up. He also has RPK. Rez's life expectancy is very low, and he will fall. Shocks with 1, nearly gets a second into the connector. He knows the information of 1 player in Con, and RPK can swing on by, but he's being shot in the back, and the kills keep coming through for NIP. There are 2 players up in this round, and this retake looks like it might just happen, especially with that kill onto Apex. It's all on Masuda. And it just never was going to happen for him. NIP win the pissed around. A pretty solid retake from them. A lot of duels that could have went either way there realistically, but NIP win them.
Hampus surviving on 1 health in connector might be the difference maker here. He turns that round onto Shocks. If Shocks is just a few feet closer, he gets that kill straight up. He did 99 damage, but instead Hampus survives, turns around for that kill, and that just cuts down on the post-plant positions that Vitality have. They'd already lost the site, they'd already lost those trades, then they lose their best post-plant position in connector. Apex has lost almost all his health here though.
Hampus charging after him with the MP9, and somehow Apex gets away alive. Now this is the window of opportunity for Team Vitality to take this B bomb site. They'll get the bomb down, and now we'll have to play out yet another 5v5 retake. This is definitely not was normal circumstances, but nonetheless, they move forward. There's RPK on the MP5 taking the head off Plopsky. Rez, who has been very solid so far for NIP, wants a very important kill, but Masuda charges forward with the Mac 10. He nearly gets the 2, but it's Shocks that will follow up and avenge his fallen teammate. Vitality answering back immediately into the second round, but Hampus, nice quick little double that will be Vitality back into the lead. And that's the problem, right? If you let that bomb go down so easily, you're going to have to face the second round force buy. Apex just ran out in the last round in the pistol, planted the bomb on the A site, secures the force buy at a minimum for Vitality. And that is the problem in the current economy, right? It's not enough to win the pistol. You have to win that follow-up round.
And this is always the worst case scenario for the CTs. They go for a force in this one, but their money's just so bad. Hampus thankfully gets to an M4. That's just due to those kills he got at the end. So they do make a difference. They allow him to get 1 rifle for the team. He can drop that MP9 over to Rez, but clearly Vitality have by far the better buy in this round. Shock's already playing it safe as well. He knows he's got an M4 that's pretty valuable. He doesn't want to give that away too easily, so he just gives up the palace control. Vitality will move back, and Apex taking a risk, but it pays off for him, walking through that smoke. That was a pretty big gamble to take there. He could have been caught out easily, but clearly he had a good read on the situation.
Yeah, could have given away an AK-47 to the hands of NIP, but he plays it out and finds the kill. ZywOo instead is the first victim, and a 5-7 trying to rattle away for a second, but Apex quick on the trade. It's Vitality taking the B bomb side again, and NIP having to go for the save call. Throw the utility back into the site, and they'll carry up an MP9. They've got an M4 here as well, Deagle, good bit of Kevlar, so of course this is the only option. NIP will go into this next round with all this to work with, but Vitality are going to be massive favorites going into the next as well. So we should be looking at Vitality taking that scoreline up to around 11. And NIP, a lot of work has to be done now. They've had their opportunity to get off to a good start in the second half. They can't throw that away after losing the second round force buy. And Vitality are back into the driver's seat at the moment.
Terrorists win. They absolutely are back in the driver's seat just by winning that second round force buy. And that second round force buy was kind of unfortunate for NIP in that they were playing it so passively on that B site. As soon as Twist saw them push B, he had to just fall back to short. They gave up the bomb site so quickly because they had so few players there. That's what allows Vitality to get back into this position. A good decision by Vitality to quickly move into B pays off for them. And they should be good to get an 11-8 lead, although Apex has taken some early dink damage. Oh, Twist, that is so clean.
Apex just got wrecked in this round. There's no other word to describe it. Apex out of the server immediately into round number 19. And AK-47 going up to the roof from ZywOo. He doesn't well let that fall into the hands of NIP. But you gotta feel bad for Apex there, but it's still funny to watch.
Just that Twist gets that first dink as well, right? And then the second one on the fadeaway.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like, hold on a second. Let me boost my teammate up into the window. Then I'm coming back. I'm not done with you, Apex. Finish us off the job, but still, look at this A-bomb side currently for NIP. They've got one player over here playing in towards spawn, that's Rez, and the attack coming in from Team Vitality. They're going to be throwing the smokes up, the executing towards the A-bomb site. NIP were gambling over towards the B side of the map with 2 players towards short, 2 at the B side itself. And now with Vitality heading in towards A, it is just Rez here to try and stop it all from happening. And it's not realistic. He is going to be shut down at 3 HP. Still no kill. And Hampus is on the stairs. The smoke has faded away, and the bomb is still not down for Vitality.
PK finally doing that job. ZywOo's already got his first kill of the round. Hampus sitting at stairs with that M4. Rez, the only man from CT. Couple of fights going down. Nothing too significant so far. ZywOo's still stuck on the site. That smoke isn't really that good for Vitality right now. It's allowing Rez to start to close the distance. They've got a couple of players trapped, and Rez has got the first kill. Time is low, but they have a kit. Hampus has another kill. Nip could make this happen. Shox has to spray away. Shox has to do the damage, and he combines with RPK for all those kills at the end there. Nip make it close, but Vitality lock it down.
Man, I was getting worried right there. And Navira was sitting there just looking at that like, I could have done better. But nonetheless, that was a little scary there for Vitality towards the end of that round. But luckily, RPK and Shox had this iron hold in the crossfire, taking every single player down. And now it's 11-8 on the board. NIP will finally get the buy back out. It's the utility, the rifles, and a quicker play from Vitality into the A-bomb side, looking to punish the NIP side, looking to take every single weapon away early on. And I love this change in pace from Vitality. Not caught off by it, stuck under wood by the Molotov, and he'll burn away.
Now Vitality slow it down, use their utility. Smokes go through. Rez puts down a counter smoke, but Apex has already pushed up, and Rez isn't ready for it. Not going down early. Now Rez gets caught off guard. ZywOo's got another one. Make it a second. ZywOo rattling off the shots towards CT spawn. And Plopsky is saving. Nip just get completely overrun. And this is the worry, Dinko. I think Nip had some really good prep in the first half. They had some really good calls. They made the most of some of the weaknesses of Vitality. But now Vitality are just styling on them on an individual basis.
Yeah, this is a little bit worrying. Especially because NIP get that solid chance. They win the pistol round coming into the second half. They lose the follow-up force buy. They've had a couple of close rounds, even on the weaker weapons. But it's this scenario that I'm worried about. That first gun round is a very good sign for Vitality. ZywOo has more scout kills in 2020 than RPK has op kills ever. That is just crazy. RPK's been around for a very long time, Alex. That's pretty nuts, but hasn't really ever been an all-pro at any point, so you can kind of understand it.
How good some of the pros are with the scout, though. Like some of the shots we see him land, ridiculous.
Yeah, Searson, I think at this tournament has one of the most filthy scout plays you've seen in a very long time. On the A-bomb site and overpass, was absolutely destroying people. And now 12-8 on the board. NIP for attack pause. I think they desperately need this just to kind of catch their breath and think about the next few rounds and what their game plan is going to be and their approach coming to this next one. You see just a casual conversation, Twist with his headphones off. Everybody of NIP, apart from Plopsky, it seems, towards the backside there with the headphones off, just chilling out, taking this full pause just to focus up, talk about things, and now getting back into the server, getting back into the action. NIP haven't invested just yet, but it will be a couple of upgraded pistols going into this round. So Vitality should be looking at 13, and I'll put them 3 away from winning Mirage and take it away NIP's map pick in this series.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that NIP can look at from that previous round was just that a couple of the players got caught early, and that's when the individuals started to really pop off from Vitality. So if they didn't lose those early players, maybe they could have held it down a little bit better. The pistols in this round, though, not doing too much to begin with. Popsky and Rez have already fallen. Hampus taking even more damage as well, so the pistols unlikely to be doing too much in this one. Twist also falling, only Nork remaining. And Vitality will get another clean round win.
So I was looking earlier and I seen an interview that Zaiwu gave, and he said that he doesn't really play aim bots. He doesn't really aim train. He just plays faces. It's unfair. It's not fair, Alex.
He probably thought that Face It was aim training when he first started playing.
Yeah, wait, is this the bots? These guys bots, yeah. Feels like it. What? 13-8 on the board. I love how Navira has just sort of transitioned between each play. He just kind of gets to camera time. 13-8 on the board. 3 rounds away from victory for Vitality, but here comes this buy round from NIP. A lot of pressure on this round for NIP. Double up setup, a huge investment. Twist and Nog pulling them out. We'll see if NIP can get the round under their belt, or will Vitality take themselves 14.
Nork and Plopsky have both been quiet for NIP. Nork was the man that we were singing the praises of from the group stage, but it's Twist who's about to be tested. The secondary AWP looking to lock down this B site.
While Twist holding on, it's 1. Plopsky has opened up the round for NIP, and Twist under pressure goes for the no-scope, but Shox is there for the headshot, and now Plopsky and Nok, they're still here in this B-bomb site. Still a very scary defense right now for NIP. And Shox, he's still trying to find some sort of opening, sort of way to get into this B-bomb side, but it's not going to be easy. Look at the other teammates. They've completely backed away from this one, sending the bomb back towards top middle. Currently, there's one player in window, and that is Hampus with that M4. He's looking out, he's gathering the info, and he'll get 1 kill as well. RPK falls very quickly, but Masuda with the instantaneous trade. Shocked, he's been spotted out to the left side, a little bit of his body showing around the corner, and now it's all on Masuda. And this is not going to be an easy round at all. Rez is pushed up in the apartments. Masuda had his knife out, finally pulls the rifle, but Rez wins the round for NIP. It's 9 on the board, and a crucial gun round win going their way.
And this time, NIP don't get caught out by the quick play. Twist lands this first shot, tight angle, goes out wide, plays it patiently, and then they had utility ready to slow down the rush, because in the previous round, Vitality were just able to run out onto the A site in that last gun round, and they were able to win the round quite quickly because of it. So I like that NIP were ready with the nades this time. They were ready to slow Vitality down. But another fast play. Hampers, you've got to be ready for this one. Early aggression from Vitality, and they've already got 2 kills.
Twist holding back. This change in pace has already shown so far in this half to find success for Vitality. NIP have not handled the quick plays very well. Vitality are so lightning fast when it comes to these rounds. Hampus at least getting 1 kill, making it doable, putting it within touching distance for NIP, but Twist, a short receipt of the smoke. He will shut down Zaiwu though, and we're into a 3 versus 3. Bomb plant secure for Vitality. NIP still have Plopsky in the smoke in behind Shox, who now fades away. There's the kill for Plopsky. That might just be the turning of the tides. The second kill as well. And it's all on Apex. A 1 versus 3. And he's stuck in middle. He's aware of Twist, who will look up for the kill. And now moving forward, Apex more lead, and he tries to get the transfer, but it'll be the round won by NIP. A poor start to the round from NIP, but a big recovery from Plopsky.
Yeah, that was the CT smoke that they put down towards that triple box that Plopsky just decided to sit in, and it faded at just the right time for him to be able to open things up. This shot from Twist as well, just on the edge of the smoke, spotting ZywOo, gets him out of the equation, and then Plopsky pops up with a nice 2K with that AUG. So Nip again, just about able to deal with the faster aggression from Vitality. And that's what Vitality have been going for in a lot of these early rounds. It's been working out for them. Now Nip is starting to deal with those fast plays. We might see a switch up from the Vitality side.
Well, Vitality still have a lot of resources to play with, a lot of money, just like ZywOo. And the utility will come out, the AK-47s, and the AWP in the hands of ZywOo. He's currently 17 and 16, not quite like the performance the last time around here on Mirage, but replicating that, of course, back-to-back is just kind of unrealistic. NIP did a good job of sort of shutting him down that first half. He hasn't really had that much impact on the T side, as you're expecting, and again, he is shut out by Knock.
Now the flashbang landed, but Nort gets the kill while blind. Now Apex was throwing some nades out towards A. He threw the lurk smoke, but he's coming back to B. That was just to try and keep those A players guessing. Rez is still in the top of connector though. Always a strong spot to be at the start of the round, but as soon as those smokes start to fade, you do feel quite open, so he's falling back. And that means it's probably down to Plopsky this time, anchoring the B site. Last time it was Twist, this time it's Plopsky, and he's caught early.
Yeah, he doesn't get anything. And now the attack from Vitality is looking deadly. Oh, one kill from Hampus. That's not really ideal because still locked out of the site is Knock. The utility being used up. And still 3v3. The one kill is certainly enough to keep it even. And now Rez's turn to try and do something from short. He has a decent position coming in here. No one's actually looking this way. They have got Apex just holding if Rez is to walk around the corner, and he's just transitioned to this direction. Rez still wins the duel, but it's Masuda quick on the trade. Still at 2v2. And Equilibrium still on the server right now, and the post-plant positions are solid from Vitality. Masuda popping off another kill collective for him, and the time is ticking. Twist needs to go now. Needs to go for the defuse, and Shocks in the apartments has a good angle. The smoke, what? What is that shot from Twist? No time for the defuse, but that is lightning fast from Twist.
Oh, you almost feel bad for him after he lands that shot that he can't win the round.
That's filthy.
That was a quick scope into the face.
I don't even know how this is human. That's just disgusting. That is just disgusting, Alex. That made me scream. And well, 10 rounds on the board for NIP is all they have, and unfortunately after that, it still is the round loss. So attack time are having to come through. NIP once again. The headsets will come off. I'll talk about what's going on right now and trying to just stay calm and collected going into these final few rounds. Can they pull it back against Vitality?
Gotta say, it's very refreshing to see Vitality have such an even distribution of kills among their star players as well. Shock's having a good game. Apex, I don't think has been getting the most important kills in the rounds, but he's just quietly been racking up frags, quietly getting Vitality into positions in the first place, oftentimes towards the start of the round, putting them in those clutch scenarios. Masuta obviously having quite a few rounds where he's had impact, and ZywOo's always going to be having some impact of his own. So all four of those guys on the Vitality side showing up, and it's had to be a team effort here for Vitality to get them to this point. But that's what's brought them through to the 14-10 lead, to the bad bye for Nip, and the potential for round 15 here for Vitality. Nip go all in on this round, and there's only one premium rifle to show for it.
Twist holding on. Oh, the head spotted, but ZywOo quick on the trigger. A second kill for Vitality. Finally, a little bit of action going NIP's way. Rez and Nox stepping back in with the rifles, but it's not enough to keep them afloat. Still the man advantage with the Frenchman. Hampus, oh, the timing. Apex swings out, takes his head off his shoulders, and Rez trying to do some chip damage, but Apex turns and finds him as well. 15-10 for Vitality. Map point reached on Mirage. And this is the map pick of NIP. This is the map we said they had to win to fancy their chances. of being able to pick up this series. But when we look at that second map, it heavily favors Vitality going into Nuke. So, in an IP, is their comeback? Can they do it on MP9s? They have no rifles in play, just 4 MP9s and 1 Deagle. And an early start for ZywOo. The aggression is held on. ZywOo and Masuda getting 2 kills for Vitality. And that might just be the first nail of the final few into the coffin of NIP.
That's always the risk when you're pushing Palace with the MP9s. That's oftentimes an angle the AWP will peak for the longer range fights, but the MP9s get caught at long range, not where you want to be. Now, Plopsky, if he gets the timing right, well, he's not going to get the timing right, so it doesn't matter. That world is not one we're living in. Hamper's still sitting on B, but the Deeg is going to have to land some headshots to have any chance.
Yeah, Hamper's holding on. Players drop it out of the window. Hamper's doing a good job on the Deagle for 1 kill, but it was always going to be too much of a difficult task. It's going to be Vitality taking the win here. Twitch just sitting back, idly by the MP9. ZywOo's going to start walking into the market. Twist has got the cover of the cash register, and that is going to allow a kill onto ZywOo, but the rest of these 3 players should not be peeking him. And Apex secures victory as Vitality, they will take Mirage. The first map in the series goes in favor of the Frenchman. It was close in the first half, but in the second, Vitality showed their class, and the individuals from NIP just can't keep up.
Yeah, just a couple of the stars not performing to the level you'd want them to, and I think that was the main difference here. I do also think that for Vitality, it was great to see, again, that team performance come through for these guys. I think Shox having a good game as well was really important. I think Maniac pointed out he had a rough series against Fnatic, so Shox being back to his best is a great sign. And as you said, Nuke is not normally a good map for NiP. We've seen Vitality get some big wins on it in this tournament. NiP are going to have to dig deep in this one.
Yeah, things are not looking pretty for the Ninjas in pajamas. It's time to see if they can show up heading into the second map, or will it be Vitality that take it 2-0? It's time for a short break, and we'll be right back after this.
Now next I have...
I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me honey. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me honey. Play me like a bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up, tripping like I'm Jim.